Okay, welcome everyone. Nadarim Daf Lamed Tes. Today is the second to last day of our campaign. Please go to charity.com/mmh25 to be mishtatev. We have an amazing topic today on Nadarim Daf Lamed Tes. Our Gemara on Lamed Tes on Beis brings from Reish Lakish. Where is there a remez to Bikur Cholim in the Torah? Moshe Rabbeinu says that if kamais kala adam yimusan eila, ufkudas kala adam, loy Hashem shalachani. The Gemara explains that what Moshe Rabbeinu is saying is that if Korach and his cohorts die a natural death, and they are lying in their sickbed, and people are mevaker choila, then Hashem didn't send me. This is the remez l'bikur cholim in Torah. What's amazing is there are 3 Gemaras in Shas that bring a source for Bikur Cholim. One is Nadarim Lamed Tes Amud Beis. One is Soita Daf Yudalid Amud Aleph, where the Gemara says, "Mai dichsiv acharei Hashem Elokeichem teilechu, v'chi efshar lo la'adam lahalech achar Shechina." Is it possible for a person to follow the Shechina? But it says, what does it mean, go after the Shechina? The Shechina is an all-consuming fire. Says the Gemara, follow his midos. Hashem is malbish harumim. Hashem clothed Adam and Chava. You too should be malbish harumim. Hashem is mevaker cholim, like it says, Vayera elav Hashem be'eloinei mamrei. You too should be mevaker cholim. Hashem is menachem avelim. So too you should be menachem avelim. Hashem is koiver mesim, like it says, vayikbar isay bagai. So the Gemara says, what's the source for Bikur Cholim? T'chsiv vayera elav Hashem be'eloinei mamrei. That God appeared to Avram and Eloinei mamrei. The Gemara says, from this pasuk, acharei Hashem leikeichem telechu, follow the ways of Hashem. Well, the ways of Hashem is mevaker choila. You too should be mevaker choila. Wow. So that's a second source, not from Korach. Im kemois kol ha'adam yimusan eila, ufkudas kol ha'adam yipaket elu. And then there's the third Gemara. There's a Gemara in Baba Metzia, Daf Lamed Amud Beis, where Yisrael tells Moshe Rabbeinu, v'haydata lohem zeh, v'haydata lohem, Yisrael says, Baba Metzia Lamed Amud Beis, you should tell them, zeh beis chayehem, that's the mitzvah of making a living. Es haderech, the road, zu gemilas chasadim, that's the mitzvah of chesed. Yelchu, ze bikur cholim. Ba, zu kvura. So this is the third source for bikur cholim. That Yisrael tells Moshe should teach the Jewish people the road they should go on. Yelchu is bikur cholim. I remember the Chafetz Chaim in Avas Chesed said, why is it bikur cholim? Because it's the road that eventually everyone has to travel on. Oh, this one didn't come out. So we have 3 sources in the Torah for Bikur Cholim. The Gemara Nadarim Lamed Tes Amud Beis, Im kamais kol adam yimusan eila, Soita Daf Yudalid, Acharei Hashem Elokeichem teilechu, and it says by Hashem vayera elav Hashem be'eloinei mamrei, and Baba Metzia Lamed Amud Beis, v'haydata lohem es haderech yelchu ba. The Ramban, in his commentary to the Sefer HaMitzvahs, this copy didn't come out good. He says that the Rambam learns out these mitzvahs from the Halachta B'drachav, which is a mitzvah saseh, to follow in the ways of Hashem, to be malbish harumim, to be koiver mesim, to be menachem avelim, to be makar cholim, and it's all one mitzvah, like the Gemara says in Soita. Just like God is menachem avelim and koiver mesim, mevakar cholim, you too should also. The Rambam already counts it as one mitzvah. All these mitzvahs are part of Gemilas Chasadim. They're part of Yahavta L'Recha Kameicha. So why didn't the Rambam say it's learned out from the pasuk in Yisrael, quoted in Baba Metzia Lamed Amud Beis, V'haydata Lahem? Because there Yisrael is just warning Moshe Rabbeinu to tell Klal Yisrael to be careful in these mitzvahs, always, so that there will be Ava ve'achva shalom v'reyos. But not that this is a mitzvah that's commanded by Hashem. Yisrael is just telling Moshe Rabbeinu how to ensure that there is shalom in Klal Yisrael. So the Rambam learns the source of these mitzvahs are from Halachta B'drachav. Rabbeinu Yoina in Brachos says the source of the mitzvah, Taima de Milsa Mishum de Tanchume Avela Midairaisa de Bechlal Gemilas Chasadim Have Ugemilas Chasadim in HaTorah Kidamrinan V'Hidat Olam Hasadarach. The Rabbeinu Yoina learns it from the Gemara Bava Metzia, quoting the pasuk in Yisrael. And therefore, Oisek b'mitzvah pater min ha-mitzvah. If you're involved in any of these mitzvahs, you're going to be exempt from other mitzvahs. The Shla HaKadosh learns Bikur Cholim from our Gemara. Amar Shimon Lakish minayin Bikur Cholim in HaTorah d'chsivim k'mois kol adam. So the Rambam learns it from Halachta B'drachav, Rabbeinu Yoina learns it from the Gemara Bava Metzia, and the Shla learns it from our Gemara Nedarim. There's a very difficult Rambam. So if I were to ask you, is Bikur Cholim a Doiraisa or a Drabanan? You should say a Doiraisa. We only brought 3 psukim from 3 different Gemaras, either from Kairach, or from Halachta B'drachav, or from V'Hidat Olam Hasadarach Yelchuba. Comes the Rambam, and the Rambam says, Mitzvah Saseh Shel Devreihem Levakar Cholim. It's a mitzvah d'Rabbanan to visit the sick. Ulanachem Avelim, and to console the mourners. Ulahoitzi Hames, and to be machnes akala, and to escort guests, and to be oisek in all the tzarchei kvura, and to be misameach a chasan and akala. Then the Rambam says, even though all these mitzvahs are d'Rabbanan, they're bechlal v'ahavta l'recha k'kamaycha. So all the Achronim ask, if they're bechlal v'ahavta l'recha k'kamaycha, then they're not d'Rabbanan. V'ahavta l'recha k'kamaycha is a d'Oraisa. Very difficult Rambam, where he begins that all these mitzvahs are d'Rabbanan, and then he says all these mitzvahs are included in v'ahavta l'recha k'kamaycha. So Rav Betzalel Zholti in the Mishnas Yavitz, he says and explains the Rambam that even though all these mitzvahs are midrabanan, they're b'chlal v'ahavta l'recha k'maycha, meaning the obligation to do it is d'Rabbanan, but when you do it, you're mekayim a mitzvah d'Oraisa. By the way, we once advanced such an idea that many Mikubalim say that when you say Kedusha, when you say Kadosh, 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 or Baruch Kavod, you're Mekayim a mitzvah d'Oraisa of Nikdashti b'soich b'nei Yisrael. But we asked, the whole mitzvah of Kedusha is a d'Rabbanan. How could you say you're Mekayim a mitzvah d'Oraisa? So here again, we see a similar principle. There's a command to do this act. The rabbis say you have to do this act. When you do the act, you're going to be fulfilling a mitzvah d'Oraisa. The Torah doesn't obligate you to do it. The Rabbanan obligate you to do it, and once you do it, you're fulfilling a d'Oraisa. Reb Chaim Kanievsky has a little bit of a different spin, and we'll end with this. Reb Chaim Kanievsky in the Archas Yosha brings that the mitzvah of Gemilas Chasadim includes all kinds of benefit that you could go offer to your friend. The Rambam says it's a mitzvah d'Rabbanan to be mevakar cholim, to be menachem avelim, to take out a mess, and so on and so forth. And then the Rambam says, even though these mitzvahs are d'Rabbanan, they're b'chlal v'ahavta l'recha kamaycha. So Reb Chaim says the words of the Rambam need explanation. If they're included in v'ahavta l'recha kamaycha, then they're d'Oraisa. How could he start off by saying they're midrabbanan? So Reb Chaim says, v'yesh loymar, look where my icon is, the midairaisa hu mitzvah klalis kol gemilas chasadim. Midairaisa, it's a general mitzvah, all forms of gemilas chasadim. There's no obligation, ve'ein lo shir. There's no measuring it. You're not chayiv to spend the whole day engaged in gemilas chasadim. Also, if you have to take care of your own needs, your friend doesn't come first. Only when you're able to. So midairaisa, you have a mitzvah of chesed, but you don't have to do it the whole day. And you don't have to put your friend's needs ahead of your own needs. Come the rabbis, and the rabbis say, there are certain obligatory things you have to do. You have to do Bikur Cholim when your friend is sick. You have to be Menachem Avelim. So it's a mitzvah d'Rabban, like Ner Chanukah, Mikra Megillah. And even if you already did, let's say, chesed the whole day, you'll still be obligated in these deeds. And even if, let's say, you have needs, you'll have to do these mitzvahs because there are specific mitzvahs. So Reb Chaim learns the Doiraisa is the general idea of Gemilas Chasadim, and the Rabbanon come along and say to do specific actions. So it broadens our knowledge of Torah, knowing there are 3 Gemaras in Shas that bring a source for Bikur Cholim. You have Nedarim Lamed Tesamid Beis Im Kamais Kol Adam Yimus and Eila. You have Soita Yudalid Acharei Hashem Lekeichem Telecho Te'emilei Hashem. You have Nedarim Daf Lamed. You have Bav Metzia Lamed Amid Beis V'Haidata Elohem Esadarchi Al Chuba. The Rambam learns that they're midrabanan Bikur Cholim, but if you do it, it's a dairaisa, which the Mishnah's Yavitz explains. You're obligated to do it midrabanan. When you do it, you are getting credit for the fulfillment of a dairaisa. And Reb Chaim has a little bit of a different spin, that the general idea of chesed is midrabaisa, and these specific acts are legislated midrabanan. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. This week, hopefully, we'll have regular schedule, 9:15 Daf Hashavua. Have a wonderful rest of the week. I wish you all Shefa, Bracha, V'Atzlacha.
Rob, quick question.
Sure.
Would the Bikur Holim override if I'm at the hospital and it's Mitzvah time, either I'm going to miss Mitzvah or stay for Bikur Holim? How do you play that?
Okay, good question. Do you say oisek, let's say, oisek b'mitzvah pater min ha-mitzvah by Bikur Cholim? So Rabbi Michael Beyer wants to know, do you say oisek b'mitzvah pater min ha-mitzvah by Bikur Cholim? Which is related to what we just learned. You know, it's directly on this subject. Do we say oisek b'mitzvah pater min ha-mitzvah? On a mitzvah d'Rabbanan, we would never say oisek b'mitzvah d'Rabbanan pater mi mitzvah d'Oraisa. The Imrei Bina, that I didn't photocopy this, the Imrei Bina brings, what would the halacha be? We know that if you're serving a chayla, you're pater from sukkah. Mishamshe chayla pater min sukkah. But if Bikur Cholim is a mitzvah d'Rabbanan, we would never say oisek b'mitzvah pater min ha-mitzvah, oisek b'mitzvah d'Rabbanan pater min mitzvah d'Oraisa. But if you explain the Rambam like Rav Zolti, that the Rabbanan command you to do it, but once you do it, you're actually fulfilling a d'Oraisa, then we would say oisek b'mitzvah pater min ha-mitzvah on, even though the command is a d'Rabbanan, but once you fulfill it, it's a d'Oraisa. Other Sfarim, like Tosefes Bikurim of the Aruch LaNer, has a shaila. Do you say when you're oisek in a mitzvah d'Rabbanan, you're pater from a d'Oraisa? Or maybe the reason you're pater from sukkah is because like you're mitzta'er. You're distressed if you have to abandon the chayla. But getting back to your question, you want to know, let's say the chayla needs me. So I guess if...
You're there, once you're already in the hospital, maybe that's where there's a difference. If you haven't gone yet, maybe. So once you're already at the hospital, then maybe that's where it becomes now, you're already actually becomes now the right then.
You know, it's interesting, the Chafetz Chaim talks about, let's say you're on your way to shul, and guests come. And if you go to shul, you won't be able to greet them. And the Gemara says, Gadol hachnasas achem yosef mihakbalas pnei hashchina. So the Chafetz Chaim writes, halacha l'maisa, you miss minyan to greet your guests. But I'm not sure if that means you miss zman tefillah. You miss minyan. Why? Because minyan is kabbalas. You're going to shul to be makabel Hashem. So Chavetz Chaim paskins and Avos Chesed you miss minyan. But I would like to check there if you should miss tefillah, because if you miss tefillah, then l'chayra for Bikur Cholim also, you would miss tefillah. I mean, you're in the hospital, you see the chayla is appreciating your visit, the Zman Mincha is coming, should you say, I have to go, or do we say, oisek b'mitzvah pater min mitzvah? Again, and especially in light of the fact that a Bikur Cholim is probably a mitzvah d'oraisa. Okay, let's try to look into that. Would we say, if you're visiting a sick, would that exempt you from tefillah? Shkoyach, I'm going to try to check soon, okay?
On a separate note, just really quickly, unfortunately, I got into this concept of if a person's allowed to work, if a person, a met, are you allowed to put sharpens on the net or not?
Oh.
I'm doing a whole write-up on it. I'll send you when I'm done. With the sources.
Oh yeah? Okay, good. Okay, good.